Hi, this is Barry J. McDonald, and I'd like to welcome you to today's blog post over at writecom.com. And today we're going to have a look at 10 ways to keep your writing motivation going. There probably will be some days when you just don't want to switch on your laptop, and the thought of actually maybe typing out 1,000, 2,000, maybe 3,000 words in that day just seems too big of a task to do. I know you might be tempted just to toss away that book that you were planning to do and just to give up writing. So before you actually do that, I'd recommend maybe you should have a look at this video and just go through all the tips here and try them out and then see if we can get you back writing again. So for example, you know what it's like actually to, you need to keep moving forward. So for example, say that you were actually pushing a car, the hardest part is actually getting the car moving. But once it's moving and going, it takes very little effort to keep that momentum going. And so it is with your writing too, even if you're only writing one page a day, but you're constantly sticking to that one page that you're typing every day, it's easier to do rather than maybe doing 20 pages today and then taking a long break and then trying to come back into it and trying to get that motivation going. So even if it's only a small kind of step in the right direction, you're going the right way. So maybe rather than actually just taking sitting down and doing the writing and then taking a long break between, a long gap between those writing periods, maybe if you just break it down to even a few minutes writing even each day, maybe 5-10 minutes, a couple of pages, at least you're moving in the right direction and it'll help you keep you motivated in the long run. And then does your book excite you? There's nothing worse than writing a book maybe that you don't enjoy writing, and because of that, then because you don't enjoy writing it, you can't expect your readers to enjoy reading it on the other side. They're going to sense that there's no heart in the book that you've created, and they're going to sense it and they're going to be repelled probably by it. And then another way they can do it then, maybe if you haven't got the motivation maybe to think of the completed book, maybe is just to close your eyes and visualize it for a wee while. The completed book, how would it look in a reader's hands, and visualize the readers actually reading it and enjoying it, and leaving good reviews for it and things like that. So sometimes, like, I find the easiest part is actually the home straight, when you're just maybe on the last chapter and you nearly get the book completed. That's when you're writing at your fastest and you're most excited about it. But starting off in chapter 1 and when you've realized how far you have ahead of you, it can be a bit daunting and may make you just want to give up. So, if in that case, then picture your finished book. Then how is it going to look? Maybe the book cover and things like that, and kind of plan ahead so that you can see readers reading it and being excited about it. And then in turn, it might make you excited then to finish it off. And then writing can be like a solitary thing too, so maybe getting in a team could be the right thing for you. Get into a small writers group, whether that's a local group or an online community. But when I say get into a writers group, I mean get into a group of people that are actually writing, rather than these people that are on social media all the time, and using the hashtag I'm writing when they're not actually writing. So if you can get into a group of kind of like-minded people and bump off each other for motivation and ideas and things like that, maybe to keep you going. And then as well then to just be aware that that this kind of group doesn't kind of overtake your writing in the first place. Maybe if you spending too much time socializing and not enough time actually working on your book, it could be working against you. So pick the right team, and it might help you motivate you with your writing. And then holding yourself back, it's easy just to begin writing and just think, well, on the first day I'm getting all excited, I'm all rare to get going, and then you write maybe 3 chapters in one sitting, and then the next day when you want to come back to it, the thoughts of actually sitting down and writing another 3 chapters just seems too much to do. So in that situation, maybe it might have been better maybe just to curb your enthusiasm and maybe just work on the first chapter, and when you've got that done, then you've your first chapter done, and save some of the enthusiasm for the next day. So when you're sitting down writing chapter 2, or then even maybe if you're writing a passage, finish at an exciting part. Maybe there's maybe an action scene or whatever, some part of the book that really excites you. And rather than writing out the whole passage, stop halfway through, and that will be your end point for that day. But then tomorrow, then you'll have something to look forward to, because you'll be right straight into that part that you really want to enjoy, writing. So it'll be an easy chore just to open the laptop and go to that passage and continue on, because it's a point of it with the book that excites you and motivates you. So rather than going grudgingly and starting right, you have a good starting point. And then once you do actually get writing, then and you get in the flow of things, then you'll find it easier than to keep going. And then sleeping more. Sometimes with any kind of aspect of the work we do, if we're not getting enough sleep, you can't think clearly. You're making mistakes and things like that. So if you find yourself maybe retyping the same paragraph over and over again, and then kind of writing paragraphs and editing small wee bits and just kind of picking on yourself and doubting your writing and stuff like that, maybe just a break away from it, maybe a little nap or something, or just to catch up on your sleep. Maybe that might be all you might need, and at least you can come back to it then with clearer eyes then, and a fresher head and fresh eyes to see what you were actually doing. So maybe a bit of sleep might help you that way. And then organising your space then, if you're writing in a space then that's cluttered, and you constantly have to move stuff out of the way to begin your writing, it can, you can use that as an excuse not to get started. So what I recommend is you should have a kind of a writing space that you're happy to go to, and it's cheerful, and you like being there. So, and then again, maybe if you need some kind of extra motivation, maybe a couple of motivational posters or a couple of quotations maybe from writers that you like and stuff like that you can kind of reflect on when you have a down moment, or you're just kind of caught and thinking, what am I going to write about next? This could be the motivating thing to keep you going. So if you're not writing in a kind of a happy writing space, then it can take a toll on you and your motivation. And then even motivating yourself with music. I know myself that sometimes if I'm a wee bit down and some good song comes on the radio, and it cheers me up, it lightens my mood, and maybe just gives me a bit of energy maybe that wasn't there before. So have you got a favorite soundtrack? Have you got a movie soundtrack? Have you some kind of album that you like, or a particular song that's upbeat and makes you raring to go? Could you use that then for motivating yourself and lifting you out of the bit of a slump that you're in? So try using motivating music to do that. Or even then, if rather than actually using music, you can actually use maybe soundtracks that have kind of brain entrapment or something like that, then, or sorry, brain entrainment, so you can actually entrain your brain then to maybe to get into creative cycle, or to something like that. And you can find them in most kind of online stores, and or maybe even a hypnosis kind of an MP3, and that you can play as you're writing away, maybe that's kind of working in the background, and it's kind of clearing any kind of unconscious blocks that you might have as you're doing your writing. And then setting goals and deadlines. Have you got a goal or a deadline then to meet? Because if you haven't got a target, how do you know then when you've actually reached it? So maybe a daily kind of word count, maybe a weekly amount that you'd have written by the end of the week, or something like that then. So you have a goal then, or you have a deadline of what you're supposed to be writing, and when you do reach that deadline, it gives you a sense of achievement, but not actually having a deadline or a goal that you're missing out on that opportunity. And then mixing up a little then. Sometimes it depends if your motivation is a bit down. Maybe a change of scenery might be all what you need. Maybe a trip to your local coffee shop. Maybe if you just need a bit of company around you, or just a sound of people in your vicinity, maybe you can go to your coffee shop and start writing there. Or if it's a nice day, maybe a change of scenery, maybe just actually going outside into the outside into the backyard or whatever. If it's a sunny day, take your laptop out there and see what your writing is like out there. You may find that you actually your mood will improve, and then you're able to actually write more. Or then even even your position to which you're doing your writing, and if you're constantly sitting and writing all the time, maybe a change of your posture might make a difference. Have you ever tried writing standing up? You can purchase like a cheap writing desk, a wee writing desk on Amazon.com, a wee small standing desk that you can put on top of your own desk, which means that you can stand and you can still continue on doing your typing. And that maybe that change of body position, or it might free you up from being strained in the chair, and because that then it might kind of free you up when you're thinking, and it might help you actually to improve in your writing. So these are just been 10 kind of steps. There's probably more and if you have any more, you're welcome to come on over to writecom.com and to leave them at the bottom of this article. But that is 10 ways that I found have helped me to keep my motivation going, and especially when I was going through slumps and I was finding it tough. So I hope you enjoyed this article. I invite you to come over to writecom.com, where we have a great report which shows 10 creative ways to make money from your writing. One of them is a way you can do it without actually writing a single word at all. So if this intrigues you and you'd like to know more, come over to writecom.com and download your free report. My name is Barry J. McDonald, and I thank you for watching this video.